everyone, it's Sharana from Pay or Wait. And today I'm going to be reviewing American Horror Story. Season 10 is Death Valley, Episode 8, Inside. And y'all, I'm not going to lie to you, it's starting to become a little bit of a chore to keep watching right now. Like, I'm hoping that it's going to get better and better. But like, I should have known. I'm boo-boo the fool because I should have known as soon as we hit that halfway mark, we already know what we about to be in for because it's American Horror Story. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into this episode, and that is no shade to the people who are enjoying this season. I am happy that you are enjoying Death Valley. I know a lot of people said in the comment section, baby, I love the whole alien thing, and I love that for you, and I'm not going to take that from you, okay? So, let's get into the episode. We go into Palm Springs, 1963. You know, Ike's sitting up here trying to golf, you know, mind his business, and he just steady getting interrupted. I don't even know why he tries to do this anymore, but we see that Nixon interrupts him and basically saying that they need to talk. He found out that Ike wants to basically tell the president about the alien treaty that they signed. And I was like, baby, what's this alien treaty? So he doesn't think that they should tell President Kennedy about the alien treaty because, well, first of all, he said because he a Democrat. I said, sir, really? That's that, and because he's Roman Catholic. I was like, I'm just going to have a moment of silence for you. Okay, Richard, I need you to be better and do better. But clearly we know that never came to fruition. But they end up going to see the president, Ike and Nixon, and basically tell him, they gave him the report about the aliens. And I saw that Mike Vogel, who you may know from The Brave or Sex Life, that he was playing the president. I was like, hey, Mike, I love that for you. Then later, I didn't realize he was, you know, going to get assassinated in the same episode. So then I was like, dang, homie, I mean, I'm glad you got a quick check. But they hand him the file. You know, he loses his mind because he was like, so let me get this straight. So this treaty, you made a treaty with the aliens to allow them to basically abduct 5,000 people a year and experiment on them. And I was like, dang, that's what the government out here doing. I did find this part interesting that it's like the government is well aware because, you know, they always talk about how, you know, there is extraterrestrial life here, how the government knows about it, and how they've always tried to cover it up. So I did think that was a pretty cool aspect. I mean, I'm sorry to those people out there getting abducted by the aliens, but I mean, I just like the idea, not the fact that you're being abducted. But we see that Jack is up here, President Kennedy, he up here pillow talking, and I was like, I know he not pillow talking to his wife. And so then we realized that he pillow talking to Marilyn Monroe, who basically ends up saying that the aliens, they tried to get her to, told him a little backstory, so that's why she was like, I'm not even this normal life. They tried to come for me and mine. So it was just, that whole scene was just random with the whole Marilyn Monroe thing. But I was like, you know what? Ryan loves his history of characters. And I mean, I guess that's who he wanted to pillow talk about the aliens to. That's his business. So we see that Nixon ends up telling Ike, calling him late at night. He like, fool, who's sitting up here calling my house this late? I did die laughing. He was like, are you drinking? He was like, are you drunk? He was like, no, I'm drinking right now, okay? Because I told you not to tell that raggedy Roman Catholic heathen. And I'm not saying if y'all Catholic, y'all heathens, I was an altar girl, okay? But that's what he said. So he was like, I told you not to tell him because he was going to try to tell everybody else. So he's sitting up here, he didn't got the idea from pillow talking to Marilyn, talking about, well, I'm finna tell the people. And I was like, bitch, didn't nobody tell you to tell you that? Let me tell you this right now, for whoever future president may see this, I know ain't nobody gonna see this, I don't wanna know there's aliens. Just let me, ignorance is bliss, and let me just enjoy that for myself. I don't wanna know about that. And damn sure put me on the do not abduct list for the aliens, because y'all not gonna get none out of me, okay? So we see that, you know, they shook because they like, this fool finna tell all our business, you know, that we fought hard to keep secret. And so we see that, we basically see that, you know, I guess they just let it go, or I guess they just sweating pins and needles. But then we go to him and Mammy, which is so weird that they call her Mammy, like Mamie. Maybe it's Mamie. Maybe I'm just saying it wrong. I really hope I'm saying it wrong. But basically, she sent up here making Salisbury steak for breakfast. I said, baby, it's breakfast. Like, y'all eating that? I mean, I guess it could be like a steak and eggs. Okay, I'll let it go. You know, I was going to shade her, but I'm going to let it go. I know that food was still bland, though. So we see that a special news team's come in, and they're like, President Kennedy has been shot. And I said, damn, Mike, you was only on the episode for like 2 minutes, and it already killed you. So I guess they didn't have to worry about him snitching, or I'm assuming they had him assassinated because he was finna snitch. I had to take a moment of pause to not say snitches get stitches, because it's not okay. He really did get killed in real life. But I'm sorry, snitches get stitches. But so we see that Ike is talking to his wife. And he was like, hey, you need to call Jackie. And then Mamie was like, oh, hell to the no, I'm not calling Jackie Raggedy behind, okay? Because I didn't forget. I didn't forget about how she tried to play me, how they tried to play me, calling the place the Pink Palace just because I like blush tones. I said, you know what? I love your petty, Mamie, okay? I love your petty. Now that I'm saying her name, Mamie, I really think it's Mamie, and maybe okay, that's besides the point. But, so she said hell to the no. And so then we go back 9 years earlier, because this is after her saying you should not be ashamed for anything that you did for this country. So then we go back 9 years ago, and then we see floating ass Mary. And essentially she coming to the meeting. They're talking, basically, they're having a discussion about what Mary told him about wanting to abduct people, you know, just do what we got to do. And so Maria floating raggedy ass comes up in the room when they're having a meeting, and then, you know, basically she was like, hey y'all, here's a gift. This will help y'all take y'all electronics go 3 times faster. This will help everything for you. And then basically this one dude, you know, he wanted to be Captain Save-A-Hole, like stand for your ideals. He was like, no, this is the filth. This is our 40 days in the desert. This is our test in the desert. And I was like, I mean, okay, I'll go with you for this. But he started talking all reckless and stuff. And so floating ass Maria looked at him and basically made his head explode. And she was like, Beesh, anybody else got something to say? That's not what she said, but that's what she should have said, and basically said after she made his head explode. And so she basically explains that they're going extinct and they need to be able to experiment to figure out how, like, they can survive, but they can't survive in their own bodies. Basically, she wants like a half human, half alien type of thing in order for them to not be extinct anymore. And so that's basically why she wants to, you know, experiment on people and impregnate them. So after she says all of this, she was like, you know, the time is ticking, whatever she said, and then her head exploded because she left Maria's body. So she wasn't floating ass Maria no more. She was regular Maria, and then Maria's head exploded. And I was like, now y'all didn't have to do Maria like that. Maria wasn't doing nothing but making her bland casserole and trying to cook for her husband and tell Raggedy Tim to bring his butt inside for dinner. Y'all didn't have to do her like that. So we see that Amelia Earhart, they got a call. There's an incident. She basically went full alien, you know, where the little alien thing just explodes out of the stomach. So the alien exploded out of her stomach, the little baby alien, and then it killed everybody in the room. So they looking around. I was like, look at Ike got his gun and stuff. He the president. He's like, I get my hands dirty too, Beach. Say something. Do something. Run up, get done up. So he basically, they looking around, and then all of a sudden the baby, the little baby thing, like, ah! And I was like, ah! And then they look like, ah! The dude shooting in the wrong area. Baby, when I say I took out the gun, it was like, boom, boom. What? And what? I was like, okay. Don't act like, did y'all get flustered a little bit like, oh, okay, you better, okay. All right. It was just me? Okay, I'm sorry. It was just me then. Don't be acting like y'all wasn't like, ooh, love a man that can kill a little baby alien and protect me. Don't act like y'all didn't act like that. Whatever. So we see that he ends up having a conversation with Mamie again. And so Mamie was like, the Russians are going to make a deal with the aliens themselves if you say no. And I was like, I forgot this is like during the Cold War, and like everyone thought they already beat us to space. Like, what else are they gonna beat us to? And I was just like, child, y'all need to let this obsession go, because it's really not that, it's not that deep, honey. So we see that, so then we basically see that Mamie, who I assume when she gave that weird look that she was like taken over by the aliens. So we see that she ends up calling Nixon over. And I was like, now don't tell me that her and Nixon was knocking boots, because I don't remember reading this in the history books. But she invited Raggedy Nixon over to basically tell him, like, you need to convince him. And he was like, why didn't anyone tell me about this? And she was like, honey, you know no one holds you in high regard. I said, dang, ho. Like, I was like, did you need to say that to him? Like, oh, child, the shade was real for Mamie this episode. So we see that she ends up trying to basically, you know, get him to change, you know, the president's mind. And so now Nixon, I was like, so baby, as much dirt you done did, you couldn't have hide like Mamie's napkin so he wouldn't know that it was her. So then Ike's sitting up here like, why you got my beach napkin in your hand, ho? And then he was like, oh, don't worry about it. So then he go home like, Trick, why you talk to Nixon, Raggedy Ass? You know nobody like him. Why are you talking to him? And so then basically Mamie turns into Flonaz Mamie, because now she's, you know, shows that she's like really the alien that took over her body. And so essentially she was like, Beach, you gonna do what I tell you to do. And you saw what happened to the last hoe whose body that I was inhabiting. So say something, do something. You already know what's happening to Mamie. And what? So that's basically how we got our treaty, guys. And so essentially he had to apply. He had to comply. Now, Ike was really disrespectful for knocking the fudge on the ground, because I was just like, sir, that was some good fudge. Like, she was really putting some hard work into that. So I just felt like that was doing the most. But, like, do what you got to do. You were upset. And so then we go to present day. And this one I was like, why do we have to come back here? But it was a little bit interesting. So we see that they're all in the car speeding, driving, because now they like pregnant. Troy had me dying laughing when he said, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. When what did he say? He was like, I didn't know what to expect when you're not supposed to be expecting, because, you know, there's a parenting book like what to do when you're expecting. Yeah, okay, sorry. So I was dying laughing when he said that, because I was like, that was a good line there. I really liked that line. So they go to the doctor, and the doctor, she was like, well, I'm going to table our safe sex discussion for next week. I said, well, Beach, obviously, we're past that. Obviously. And if you already saw her before, well, the first time, we've been past it. So I was just really confused by that comment. I would have been like, man, First of all, why you sit up here trying to shade me anyway? If I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant. If I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant. Sit up here talking about, I guess we need to have a safe sex. Bitch, I didn't ask you to give me none of that info. Okay, ho? You saw me the first time I was pregnant. Obviously, you wasn't having the right conversations to begin with. So say something else again. I'm sorry. I just got really upset because now that I'm sitting here replaying it in my mind, she got really shady. Sorry. Okay, so the doctor basically looks at the, you know, does a little, I don't know what's called, sonogram, ultrasound, something. So she hears 2 heartbeats. She's like, oh, there's twins running in your family? I said, hell no, they got twins? So then she looked at the screen. She got spooked. I said, oh, hell, what the hell is this? Even when they kept showing it, I was like, I still can't tell what it is, so I can't have the same reaction like everybody else is having right now. So we see that they basically do their own ultrasound because she left the room to go get somebody else. And so they saw the same thing and they got spooked. And then Troy was asking the right question this whole episode. Where is the baby going to come out of me? Because I said, baby, I've been trying to figure that out since the first episode. And I figured we was finna do some alien stuff like what happened to Amelia anyway. So the people who look like Secret Service, they come in. I'm thinking it's the government coming in, then shot the doctor, everybody else in there, took the kids, sedated them. But it's the aliens that took them. It was actually one that it was the Men in Black. We are the Men in Black. Actually, that's not the song. Here comes the Men in Black. Galaxy Defenders. Okay, sorry, I got sidetracked. I couldn't help it. Don't act like you didn't think about it either. So essentially, they wake up and they floating, okay? Because clearly that's the theme here. That's the thing with the aliens. They like to float. So they're floating, and, you know, she figured out, like, what is going on? She trying to wake everybody else up. And then this alien thing come. I was like, okay, look at them having diversity with the aliens. We got black aliens. Okay, alien diversity on TV. I'm here for it. But then I was like, was that Angelica Ross? But then I was like, why she ain't got no fingernails? Like, why her hands look like that? And so essentially, old girl started talking a lot of smack. I said, baby, you're abducted and you're pregnant. and you're floating. Like, this is not the time to be talking out the side of your neck. And so, you know, she was like, hey, baby girl, just chill, okay? Because you're doing a lot and you're giving a lot of negative energy, and that's just not the space that we're trying to be in right now. And so she made her just be quiet. And essentially, when she wakes up, they're like grabbing food. Child, I was like, not the aliens that abducted Steve Jobs. I was just like, wow, this is too much. And then you had Calico, who's played by Leslie Grossman. I thought it was really funny they had like these people, these real like people who have been abducted by aliens. And so I was really confused as to what was in the Jello, because that looks really disgusting. You could at least try to use like black Jello, red, like so they couldn't see. I was just like, so this is all y'all giving? Y'all abducting people, impregnating people, and all you gotta give me is some Jello? How that make sense for me? So, Calico, she basically says, hey, I'm on an annual plan, so I don't know what y'all hoes got going on with the aliens, but we do this yearly, okay? So I can do what I need to do and get back to what I need to get done on Earth, okay? And so Troy's still asking the questions that I need answers to. Baby, where is this baby coming out of? Someone tell me, help me to understand. But he started getting real crunk, like level 1000 crunk. And I was like, baby, don't do that. Don't do that. So he got carried away. Then everybody losing their mind. And so then Angelica, you know, I don't know her character's name. We're going to call her Diversity Alien, okay? So Diversity Alien shows up and essentially was like, hey, you know, he keep asking this question. She's like, I'm sorry, we haven't been able to answer the questions. And I said, well, baby, how long do you need to answer the questions? Because he's been asking for quite some time, honey. So basically, she says, like, not life has to find its own way out. And I was like, Troy, that baby finna rip out of your stomach, honey. They don't want to tell you, but I've watched enough alien movies to tell you this is what's going to happen, okay? So then he started getting sick. Blood started coming out. I don't know what happened. She took her mask off, and I was like, Troy was like, and then it was like half alien, half human, and I don't know what the hell going on at this point. So it's like she was like a hybrid diversity alien human baby. So, and then the episode just went off, and so I was just like, there's a lot happening here that I think that we need to unpack in next week's episode, and I hope that we get that, because we deserve that. So overall, for me, this episode, I will have to say that the raggedy present day kids, it was a little bit more interesting in what happened, like, you know, back in the day. But I did like the whole thing with the alien treaty and kind of what they have going with that. I think that's a very interesting angle. I just don't know how all of this is going to play out, but it feels like more like a paint by numbers instead of actually getting into an actual story of what's developing this season. And that's what I'm kind of confused about. And I know everyone keeps saying that this has to tie in to Red Tide. I'm just lost in general. I don't know what's happening or what's going on, but I'm still going to be here for the ride. But you got about 2 more episodes out of me, and I'm just like, y'all really got to wow me next episode, but I'm interested to see where we're going with this. I just don't know necessarily where we're going. It's just a bit much for me, and it's a little slow because we keep going back and forth, back, forth and forth. I couldn't help it. So yeah, so this is still giving me, this gave me like above average. Like it's a step above mediocre for me, but I'm here. I am here and I'm committed. And I'm going to stick it through. I'm going to try to stick it through. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, what did you think of this week's episode? How are you feeling about Death Valley so far? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you on the fence? Let me know in the comment section below what you think. But those are my thoughts on this episode, American Horror Story, Death Valley, Season 10, Episode 8, Inside. I want to feel you on the inside. That was such a traumatic experience for me, going to watch Beloved with your parents and you're a child. She was like, I want to feel you on the inside. I said, baby, what y'all got me watching? What are we doing here? Do I need to call DCF? Like, who I gotta call? Because this is uncalled for. I'm sorry, that's so besides the point. But as always, my name is Sharona from Pair Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again, bye.